Good morning everyone, we are the group 2 and we are going to report about choosing a story to write. But first, what is story? Story is the way the storyteller decides to frame a situation or how he or she presents it using the framework of a plot. There can be many stories created from single inciting event. Do you know what is inciting event? Inciting event is the event that sets the main character or characters on the journey that will occupy them throughout the narrative. It is also where the ensuing falls into the changes of life of the character. Moving on, how to choose a story to write. If you're going to be the storyteller, you are going to decide whose the story it is and what is the story is all about. You're also going to decide whether or not the inciting event will be presented as complete and self-obtained or as a part of a larger story. And those decisions should be considered using the following items. First is the available material that will be reported by Alfard.
Available material is the extent of what you know about the inciting event, its people, and its setting. It is the main consideration behind one non-fictional story you will tell. If you witnessed or heard a story or event firsthand and can recall most of what happened, you are in a better position or to recreate the scene and interpret it as long as you can. And everything you can recall most of what happened and as a complete as you can on your own that you will be had to hear the event from someone else.
Point of view refers to who is telling or narrating a story. A story can be told from the first person, second person, or third person point of view. Writers use point of view to express the personal emotions of their characters. The point of view of a story is how the writers want to deliver the experience to the reader. Reviewing point of view, for example, each type is a great way to understand the different approaches.
The limited omniscient point of view attaches itself to one of the persons in an event and narrates closely from his or her narrate point. Writing a non-fiction story is a way entails that the author is familiar enough with the person whose vantage point. When we say omniscient point of view, is when the storyteller has knowledge about all the characters in narrative. It is an omniscient or all-knowing point of view. Example, I am a storyteller and I have a story. Before I narrate the story, I assure that all the characters in the story is I have a knowledge about their feelings and thoughts.
So, the fair and accurate portrayal is a part of point of view, where you can read a story, the different thought and feelings of the other characters. This type of the omniscient, it can to help the readers understand better the flow of the story. So, this a part of story that is not only focused in the main character's feeling and thought in a story.
First person, in this viewpoint, the character speak as I know. Only what is one character can tell us. Third person, the he or she point of view. Second person, it is rarely used and utilized the pronoun you in telling the story.
Character has definition. First, it is what does your character's face looks like, if he she good or bad, and if he she looks handsome or beautiful. Second, how does the character move, if it is moved like a man or a woman. In creating non-fiction, character is one of the most important, whose traits and attributes are being portrayed and betrayed. Character in non-fiction presents a special problem that takes the feelings of the readers in a certain story. Sometimes it happens in diary, in autobiography, and it can be developed the character to someone sensually through sight, feel, or sound. For example, Judith Kitchen thinks of this life. Mamie would step onto the platform wearing a dark purple coat. Her black braids were tightly around her head. Her skin was too soft and wrinkly. On that particular example, it mentions that typically the grandmothers has soft and wrinkly skin. The character in the certain example was already an older. That's how it can be easy to describe the character with he-she typicality.
Good afternoon, ma'am. So now let's proceed to dialogue. Dialogue is most recognized and capture the voice of the speaker. However, not simply provide information, and dialogue is a conversation between two or more people. The conversation between the characters in a novel, drama, etc. It is an exchange of ideas or opinions. Dialogue is very important because it is where we form words because of our conversation with other people. For example, is meeting. Because the people are talking to each other, so they are replacing the conversation of every person there.
Good morning to each and everyone. My name is Cedric Pizarra. Today, I will share to you the point of view. It refers to who is telling or narrating a story. A story can be told from the first person, second person, or third person of point of view. A rare from the first person is the first person omniscient. It means the narrator is a character in a story, but also know the true and feelings of all the other characters. It can seem like the third person omniscient. Example of first person, second person, and third person is first person, I, me, and my. And second person, you and your. And at last is third person, she or he and her or his.